Two people fall in love, and everything feels magical at first. Then slowly, things start to fall apart, and nobody can explain why. They blame communication issues or growing apart. But what if something much deeper is actually happening? What holistic practices and ancient wisdom traditions have consistently shown is that most relationships fail. This is because of an invisible energy imbalance that nobody talks about. This involves the ancient concept of yin and yang, but not in some abstract philosophical way. This stuff has real, practical implications for why relationships work or completely fall apart. What I have found is that every person has both masculine yang and feminine yin energy within them. This is true regardless of their body and gender. The ideal situation would be each person being about 50% yang and 50% yin. This means balanced, whole, and complete on their own. But here is what research into consciousness and energy work has consistently revealed. Practically nobody achieves this balance. If you're curious about exploring these deeper relationship dynamics and want to join our investigation into consciousness and connection, then subscribe to One Paradox Collective and let us continue exploring this fascinating territory together. Most people are walking around severely imbalanced, maybe 90% yang with barely 10% yin, or vice versa. When two imbalanced people try to create a relationship, it is like trying to build something solid with broken foundation pieces. What studies of electromagnetic fields and human energy have shown is that a balanced person creates what essentially amounts to a powerful electromagnetic field. Think about those people you have met who just have presence or charisma or magnetism. They draw opportunities, relationships, and success, and that is not coincidence. When you have a relationship between two balanced people, their individual electromagnetic fields amplify each other. The result is that everything flows. Money, health, opportunities, and joy all get attracted to the couple. Compare that to the typical scenario where an overly yang person pairs with another imbalanced person. Their fields do not complement, but instead create static. Instead of amplification, you get interference, and everything becomes a struggle. Finances suffer, health issues emerge, and arguments become constant. What has been observed across various holistic approaches is three main imbalance patterns that doom relationships from the start. The first is yang-dominant partner with weak yin partner, which creates a power struggle. The second is two weak energies together, which leads to stagnation. The third is chaotic imbalance, where extreme energies compete rather than complement. Here is something fascinating about the biochemistry of love. When two people are truly balanced and complementary, their brain chemistry literally changes. The interaction between balanced yin and yang energies triggers specific neurochemical responses that create genuine bonding, not just infatuation. Most people mistake hormonal attraction for love compatibility, but that initial rush you feel is not necessarily indicating good long-term potential. Real biochemical harmony happens when energies complement, rather than just create temporary chemical fireworks. Let me give you some practical examples of what yin-yang balance looks like in an actual relationship. In communication, a balanced person can both speak their truth, which is yang, and listen deeply, which is yin. They do not dominate conversations or disappear into silence, but engage authentically. In decision-making, they can both take initiative when needed and yield when appropriate, with no power struggles, just natural flow. In intimacy, this is where things get really interesting, because balanced people experience physical connection as something transcendent. Not just biological release, but actual spiritual connection. In conflict, balanced people can disagree without attacking or completely shutting down. They have enough yang to stand their ground and enough yin to stay emotionally available. Achieving personal balance is incredibly difficult in our culture because we are constantly pushed toward extremes. Men are told to suppress their yin emotions, intuition, and receptivity, while women often overcorrect by amplifying their yang assertion. Women neglect their nurturing, intuition, and receptivity, leading to a cycle of imbalance in relationships. The result is a planet full of unbalanced people trying to find completion through relationships instead of developing wholeness. What research into holistic healing and consciousness work has found is that the only real solution requires deeper work. This work focuses on understanding and integrating both aspects of your nature for true personal balance. Real love is what happens when two whole, balanced people choose to grow together in harmony. Instead of needing each other to fill gaps, they amplify each other's already complete nature and strengths. This creates relationships where both people continue growing individually while also growing together in unity. Resources flow easily, challenges become adventures rather than threats, and intimacy feels sacred rather than merely biological. The real work is internal, developing both your masculine and feminine aspects until you become a complete person. Then, and only then, you can join with someone else to create something truly extraordinary together. Have you noticed patterns where everything flows easily with some people but feels like constant struggle with others? Share your experiences in the comments below. And let us know what energy dynamics you have observed. Subscribe to One Paradox Collective for more investigations into consciousness, connection, and the paradoxes that shape our experience. We do not promise answers, but we promise better questions to explore together.